How's everyone today? Welcome to the Dirt Road Farmer. Well, we've got I'll just say it's a large field for this map. A large field of soybeans, and we're gonna get it harvested, and then once we get it harvested, depending on how much time we have, we may go over here and tackle this monster of a field and see if we can get it planted. So that's the one that we just joined 5 different fields and made one huge field out of it. So let's jump out. As you can see, we have soybeans in here. We have a 98% yield bonus. It's 100% fertilized. Good crop. Good healthy crop. So let's go over here and let's get these guys programmed in. Now, one thing to remember, this field is running east and west, or the long side of this field is running east and west. Yeah. So we'll just have to watch them. Now we're going to start them going south. We're going to start them going south, and we'll just see how everything works out. So let's bring up our HUD. Well, we got to wait for it to save. My goodness. And I do believe this is field 102 where we're at, right here. Is that right? No, that is not right. We're at field 150. This is where we're at, right here. Okay, and as you can see, yeah, you can call it a large field, I guess, but compared to a lot of the others, no, not so much. So, all right, let's get him programmed in. Now, we're going to run 2 harvesters instead of 3 because it's not a very big field. So we need to create a field for field 150. All right, we'll create a field, and we're going to call that field 150. Okay. So now we have a field 150. All right, first thing we want to do is clear the course out of that harvester that we're in, and we want to create a new job for him. So let's create a job. Field position. And right there. Let's create the course. Multiple tools. No, we're only going to use 2. 1 headland because it'll be too wide. We can clean up the corners. We'll just have them do a smooth corner on the headland passes. All right. Up and down angle. Yeah, I don't know what to say about that. I need to find something that will tell me how to set this to run east and west. And so far I haven't found any directions anywhere. All right, so let's create the fieldwork course. We've got that done. All right, let's bring up the small HUD. Got a temporary course in there. We don't want a temporary course. Let's go back in there. We need to save that course. And we're saving it to field 150. That's the folder we're going to put it in. And we're going to call that harvest. H for 2 harvesters. Right there. Okay, now we should be able to get out of it. Alright, we've got harvest 2 harvesters. First waypoint, he's going to be 1 left. That's his position. Alright, let's go back here and get this guy programmed in. Alright, first thing we want to do, clear the current course. Field 150. What we want to do in there is harvest with 2 harvesters. We want to load that course, activate that course. And now we have it in our small HUD. Harvest 2 harvesters. First waypoint, he's going to be 1 right. Okay? All right, now let's go over here and let's tell number 1, well, okay, let's see what we're going to do. Go to work. And let's tell number 2. Let's give him a minute. Yeah. Let's give them a minute. We don't want them running into one another. All right, go to work. Now we're going to kind of ride with them for a minute and make sure they're on the right path. Make sure they're going right so far. And we are for sure going to be riding with one of them whenever they make that first up and down turnaround. Yeah, that's yeah, that can be interesting to say the least. All right, but for right now, everything looks good. And like I said, this is not a very big field. Yeah, that's the reason we're only going to use 2 harvesters, because it won't take long at all and they'll have this done. All right, well, we're going to let them get on around, and I'll get back with you when we get a little closer to the turnaround. All right. Well, we are getting close to the end of our headland passes, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to ride with this second guy. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do, is we're just going to jump in and ride with the second harvester. And depending on what the first harvester does, how he turns around, how he gets started, it will most likely result in us having to do something with harvester number 2. And then, you know, keep your fingers crossed. It could be that nothing will need to be done. Maybe they'll work it out exactly right. That would be excellent. So we'll see. All right, now where is number 1 headed to? right there. Okay. I'll be. All right. Well, that looks good. Actually, that looks real good. Okay, now what are you doing? All right. You're... All right. Well, it's never the same. It's always something different. If you've watched my harvesting videos before, you'll know what I'm talking about. Yeah. But I don't see anything wrong with this at all. Okay, well, we'll just let them do it, and we'll go back and we'll get in our grain cart, and maybe, yeah, I'm sure they're going to compensate for the width of the field on the other side. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on them, but everything so far looks real good. All right, well, this is where they're compensating for the width of the field. The first harvester is making what I call a dry run. And that's okay. That is okay. I would rather see this any day than I would to see them run into one another. To me, this was a win-win course. It worked real good. Real good. So, if we don't end up joining this field with another field, we'll probably just hang on to this course, and that's the way we'll run it from now on, because it was absolutely incident free. So, all right, we've got him completely emptied out. He's going to go up to the other end, and he's going to get started on the rows that they skipped. So, yes, it's been a while since we've had an incident-free run. Yes. So that was really good to see. All right, we're going to get this second harvester emptied out. And like I said, when we get done harvesting this field, we're going to tackle that monster on the left of us. And we're going to put Big Bud in there with that, I think it's an 84-foot toolbar, could be 89-foot toolbar, something like that. And we're going to open him up and let him plant. So, all right, well, I'll get back with you when we get a little farther along. All right, well, we're getting it done. Been absolutely no problems. And you're not going to hear me complain. Oh, no. I don't like problems. Very good. All right, I think we've got what he's got. So we'll go back and get number 2. Yes, sir. I may say that this has been a win-win harvest. When you harvest a field with multiple harvesters and everything goes exactly right, yeah. Yeah, you got a grin from both ears. Yeah, I don't care who you are. If you've ever used Courseplay, you know what I'm talking about. uh, all right, well, we're going to get this field finished up so that we can get Big Bud over here and get him warmed up. And I think we're going to plant canola in that field. And we're just going to just put him to work and tell him to get after it. All right. Well, I was just checking Big Bud over. Make sure everything is good on it, because he's got a huge field that he is fixing to tackle. Everything looks good. All right. Well, I'll tell you what, it's funny how everything wears, paint wears off of stuff. My goodness. And haven't hit anything. I mean, there's no reason. Maybe I ought to get a hold of the manufacturer and tell them they need to do something about their paint. That's terrible. It ain't that old. You know, what is it, maybe 6 months old? Yeah, for paint to be wearing off like that, that's ridiculous. All right, let's get him started. All right. Now, before we forget, let's see. We want to plant canola. That's easy to forget. So you do it whenever you think about it. Don't put it off. If you say, okay, yeah, I remember, I'll get that whenever I get up here. Yeah, right. Yeah, ask me how I know that. You're talking about Mr. Senile here. Yeah. Oh, boy. But this is going to be one big field. And yes. Now I'm trying to figure out where we want to start. Why don't we just stop right here, jump out. I don't know whether we want to start on this edge or that. I'll tell you what, I think we'll just start over here going north and see how that works out for us. Oh, by the way, I done all that running like that. I didn't even break a sweat. You know, and I'm not even huffing and puffing. That's pretty good, ain't it? All right. Yeah, let's see. Let's run him up here just a little ways. All right, let's pull the HUD up. Of course, we got to wait for it to save. And I want you to see how big this field is going to be. We shouldn't want for a bigger field, you know, No. All right, let's create a course. All right, you see where Big Bud is at right here? We're talking about all of this. If you see my cursor, it's all of these fields. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fields that we plowed together. So, yes. All right, let's create a course. All right, we'll just put that about right there. And you can see it outlined now. Okay. And I was mistaken a while ago. This is an 86.6 foot toolbar. So, yes. Number of headlands, we'll want him to do 2. Do we want him to start in the center first? Yes, we do, because we don't want him turning around on ground that he's already planted. So, yes, that'll work great. All right, clockwise, that's great. Up and down rows, we'll leave it up to them. That's automatic. Just do the field work course. It's taking a while. Oh, I finally got it done. And it looks like he's going to be going up and down. Okay. And look where he's going to start, way over here in this other corner. So, all right. Well, let's bring up our small HUD. We've got a temporary course, first waypoint, and let's just tell him to go to work. So anyway, I know you're waiting like I am for him to find his starting point. But once he does, there'll be no more waiting. It'll be all about planting. So I'm still not seeing his sign, but he should. There it is. I see it right now. Should be a start sign right there. There it is. All right, we've got canola. Planting canola. He's found his start point. And oh yeah. Yeah, now he's going to cock the ears back on it, and he's going to start planting. Look at the black smoke rolling. Oh yeah. Very good. All right, well, we're going to let him plant. I'll get back with you periodically. Oh, and we're just going to keep an eye on him. As you can see, he's got it figured out. And if he doesn't, he's got me fooled. Which, you know, that would be easy to do, you know. But anyway, let's see who's driving Big Bud here. Oh, that's Bill. Hey, Bill. How you doing? You doing all right today? Hey, well, you couldn't look at me, you know. Hey, how you doing? All right. Well, you got a chore ahead of you today. Yeah. All right. This will be one for you to go home and tell Mama about. All right. Well, you're doing a fine job. We'll talk to you after a bit. Okay. Well, we're going to get out of here, and we're going to let Bill plant, and we'll check back in with him and see what his progress is in a little while. All right, well, Big Bud's doing it. I mean, he's he's covered quite a bit of ground. That over there is where he's been, and this over here is where he's going. Yeah, he's got a lot more ground to cover. A lot more. Now, right here's where we joined those fields together. And in that particular strip, the yield bonus will only be 95. And up here where we plowed this field over here, it will only be 95. And that's just in the places that we plowed the strip and we plowed this section right here. The reason for that is because there wasn't nothing there to mulch. If you remember, we cut trees out of this area and then we plowed it. So there wasn't nothing there to mulch. But that's only on these areas. The grassy areas that we plowed the fields together in, just those strips will be 95%. And we can jump out here. Jump out. And I'll show you. As you can see, we're 95% yield bonus, 100% fertilized. Okay, and the same goes over where we plowed the fields together. Once you get out of the grassy area and you get over here where the field was, that's 98%. So, and as you just as well as when we go up here, all right, we're 95% yield bonus, but we get out of the grassy area, we get 98%. So those places that are 95% yield bonus now, they will be 98% on the next harvest. So, and these rocks, and I'm going to tell you what, I don't know who's dumping rocks in these fields, but they're just dumping piles of rocks. I mean, that just doesn't even look realistic. I've got stones turned off in the settings because I think this is ridiculous. Because rocks don't appear in a field like this. No. So until they get a little more realistic with their rocks, yeah, I don't play that game. So, but anyway, yes, Big Bud is getting right along. I don't know, see that yield bonus? Now it's 95. Is this where we didn't plow anything together here? It's 98. That info box down there has been giving me a little bit of trouble. It's not really been giving me a good figure. So, but anyway, we're going to let Big Bud get along with it, and we'll check back in a little later. Well, we are moving right along. I'll tell you what, Big Bud, he don't waste no time now. That is a powerful tractor. And that's where we've come from. And we've still got that much to go. So yes, we're making headway. Great headway. I guess maybe I ought to go down there and say something to Bill, see if he's getting tired. Hey, Bill. Hey, you getting tired? You doing all right? You need me to have Mama bring you some lunch or something? Yeah, I got barbecued pork steak at the house. Yeah. Well, all right, if you're doing all right, okay. You holler though if you need a break. All right? We'll talk to you in a little while. All right, well, he's passing up barbecue pork steak. Man, that ain't right. That's un-American, ain't it? Said he's doing all right. Okay. Well, we'll check back in with him in a little while. Well, I'll tell you what, Bill has flat come across this field. Yes. And he is just about to this other side with his up and down rows. And when he gets to whenever he gets, probably, I'm going to say he's probably got one, maybe two more rows to do, and he will start his headland passes. And he's got 2 headland passes to do. Now, I came in and done the corners. I did the touch up on the corners prior to him, missing anything. This way, whenever he's done, the field should be done. I can't think of anywhere that I've missed, which there could be. I'm not saying that I'm absolute on it. That's not what I'm saying at all. But with the touch-up work that I've done in the corners, I think that he should be great. Like I said, whenever he gets the headlands done, it should all be done. So anyway, we'll let him make a couple more rounds, and then we'll catch him on his headland pass. All right, Bill has started on his headland passes. He's on the first round, the first pass, and yeah, he's got a long trip just to get around the field. Now I'll show you here at this corner why I go in here and I touch up first. See, whenever he makes that turn, there's going to be a little bit that's going to be skipped there. So, and here it looks like he's making up for the width of the field. So, I'll tell you what, everything looks real good. Real good. And I'll tell you something else. When we go to harvest this field, we're probably going to put 5 harvesters in there, in this field. And we're going to keep our fingers crossed that everything goes real well. Seems like I've had more problems with multiple harvesters on this map than I ever have, really. And but we're going to do it, and we're going to make it work too. So I have no idea what to expect with the volume, the yield coming off of this field, but I would guess somewhere around 2 million liters will come off of this field when we harvest it. Yes, 2 million. So we'll just have to wait and see. But anyway, he's doing great, and we'll let him get on around it, and we'll check back in with him whenever he gets a little farther along. All right. Well, we're on our last headland pass, and whenever he gets completely around this field will be done. It will be planted. I think everything has went real well, and whenever I look out across that field, I'm seeing a lot of canola. Yes, a lot of canola. But anyway, when we go to harvest this field, like I mentioned earlier, We are going to put 5 harvesters in this field. They'll all be running on Courseplay. We will have an auto drive course set up to take the grain from a mother bin or buffer cart, whichever you want to call it. They'll load out of the buffer cart, the truck will, and take it to our silo and come back and reload. There's going to be a lot of grain moving, and whenever you start chasing 5 harvesters, yes, you have got to have a place to go with grain. So the way I do it is I set up a buffer cart or a mother bin, like I said, however you want to call it, and then I chase the harvesters with a grain cart. Well, I'll chase the harvesters until I get enough in my grain cart or get a load, and I'll take it and I'll put it in the buffer cart. Now the truck is sitting there, he's waiting to load. As soon as I put grain in the buffer cart, it loads the truck. He takes the grain to the silo and he comes back and he gets reloaded. It works real good. If you've watched any of my previous videos, you've seen me do this, and I can move a lot of grain pretty quick. So anyway, I think we're going to call this a video. It's been a long one. I apologize for that. We got a lot done today. So if you've liked this content, please go down there and give me a like. I'd sure appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, now would be a fantastic time. I'd sure appreciate that. If you'd like to share this video with someone that you know would enjoy it, please do. But as for me, the Dirt Road Farmer, I think we're going to call it a day. And as always, thank you for watching